Welcome out with the Finn as I continue building my off-grid cabin. Like you see, there's no snow anymore, but thankfully the ground is still frozen, which means that I'm able to fell trees. So on this trip I will be focusing on felling trees and transporting them to my campsite. My plan is to fell all the trees that I will need in my log cabin build. So come along and see how it goes. Enjoy! And here we are! It's a bit different than last time. Like you see, almost all of the snow is melted. And it's been only probably like, how would I say, maybe 2 or 3 weeks since I visited this last time. So yeah, the snow melted really rapidly. And as you see, I have a tractor now. That's not my tractor, it's a loan tractor. Because I don't have a trailer yet for it, I have to do a few rounds back and forth, go get some equipment. Look at this! My sauna has barely survived. Yeah, the thing is that I pitched the sauna tent on top of snow and apparently a bit in the ground, at least some of the pegs. But now as all of the snow has melted, well, this is the result. I need to fix this later today. This is my second time driving a tractor and I've never driven this tractor before. So it's going to be interesting learning all this new stuff. Got all I need already here, and look, I was even able to transport this huge box. My plan was to already take some lumber here and build a deck where I can put the grill for the summer. But because the road here is in such bad condition that I couldn't pull like a regular trailer here. So what I have to do is probably get a forest trailer or something like that, because this summer my plan is to do the foundation for the cabin, so I definitely need some concrete, cinder blocks, etc. and those I really need a trailer for. Oh, my foundation is a bit wobbly. Let's see if it holds. I mean, it surely feels a bit wobbly, but it still stays someplace. Time to go chop down some trees. Okay, so on this trip my plan is to just focus on felling trees, because as you see, snow has already melted but the ground is still frozen, meaning that there is still no water circulation in the trees. Once the ground melts, the water will get into the trees and it's not that good to fell the trees anymore once they are filled with water. That is why you usually fell these trees during winter. Because you can see here, these stumps from my last trip, they are completely dry, meaning that they haven't soaked in water from the ground yet. So this time my focus is on felling trees and just transporting them here with the tractor, and I'll debug them later. All right, let's go fell a tree. Let's see how easily it moves with the tractor. Okay, let's see what happens if I lift this up. I mean, that was just ridiculously easy. I didn't even feel any difference between driving with the log there or without it. Tractors are just crazy. But now I need to go and repeat this multiple times. I'm gonna need a lot of these trees here. So I think instead of driving around with the tractor and finding the trees I want to fell, I will just walk around here in the forest, fell the trees, and then come pick them up later with the tractor. Also, it is really hard to see from inside the hut that which trees are tall enough. First one done. And that's the second one done. Ah, made a mess. Yeah, I mean, it just feels so much different being here now that it's plus degrees. It's currently like +7 or something. The sun is shining, no snow at all. And this is the best part of the year because there are no mosquitoes yet. That's one more down. Let's just quickly check if these are even close to being tall enough. At 9.5, it's around 16.5 centimeters with bark on. Okay, so that would be good enough. But the issue I have here is that I'm starting to run out of these. Like, I estimate that I have to fell like 30 of these during this trip. And I've now done 6, and I'm having already difficulties finding like tall enough trees. I need to go and walk further. I mean, honestly, I don't know how, But look, the tree fell on the tripod, but the camera is right there. I need to take that off and see if the tripod is damaged, but oh man, that was a close one. I'm just currently walking around the property trying to just find proper wood. And look, the neighbor's forest is just filled with trees. But this one is just tiny trees. Oh man. I just felled 10 trees in about 2 hours. It's currently 7 p.m. so I think I'll go just eat dinner and then come pick up these. And it's crazy because we have so long days currently. Of course, summer is coming, so that affects it, but also in Finland we have different summertime and winter time. Just last week, if I remember correctly, we moved our clocks towards the summer, so 1 hour forward. So when it got dark at 8 p.m. previously, it now gets dark at 9 p.m. That was a small hike. I was quite far from the camp. And really easy food. Makkara perunat, potato and sausages. That's ready. And just a little bit of ketchup. And 1 beer with that. But don't worry, this is non-alcoholic beer. I will drive the tractor still. Now that's done. So let's go collect all those logs. It didn't stay on. What I actually think I'll use the skidding cone to pull some of these logs, because if I want to use that I have to be precisely on the log, which will be a challenge because, for example, there is a huge stump. So I'll go grab that skidding cone and let's see how easy it is to pull those logs with the skidding cone. Turn on the lights. Oi, 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 oi. Oi, 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 oi. I mean, that was just brutal. But I think I can still get a long enough log out of this one. I was questioning myself a bit there when I turned and I saw how much the tree bent, but once I was already going with the log like that on, there is no reversing. So I just had to go forward and Well, thankfully nothing broke except the log. And let's put on some more light. Whoo. And back. Whoo. Well, now I'll definitely see driving here. Oh, I can't get the rope under there. Whoop. Ooh, that was loud. Definitely can't forget lights on in that vehicle. Oh, there we go. I think that's enough for today. It's already almost 9 p.m. and it's getting really dark here. Although this has very good lights, I just don't feel that safe driving in the dark forest. So yeah, let's continue tomorrow. And I still want to set up this today. So here we have a much bigger stove that Pomoli sent me. Now of course summer is coming, so I won't even need a stove here soon, but when it was like -20 or even -30 here, I wish I really had a bigger stove. So let's set this up. Oh yes, there's even an ashtray. That's so great. What are these for? I think I need to find the instructions somewhere. Okay, I couldn't find the instructions, but let's see. Whew, there we go. Let's check out here. Oh god damn, that's a tall chimney. Oh, that's ridiculously tall chimney. It's still tall, but that's way better. Let's get it started and heat up the place. It's quite cold in here. I mean, is the vent now open or closed? Oh, that's open. Okay, I can immediately feel the difference. Having that big window there, it just gives so much heat this way. And I have a few additions to the stove, but let's check on those tomorrow. I mean, currently it's still close to 0, so it's like fridge temperature outside. But soon I'll have a problem on what I'll eat here, because it's gonna be so warm. Of course I can take that kind of dried camping food, but those are never that good. I think I need to get a small portable power station and a small fridge or something. Oh man, it was a rough day. Let's get back to work in the morning. Good night. Well, good morning. Oh, I slept so well and didn't even feel like waking up yet, but got some work to do. It's snowing a little bit here. I noticed that this stove is much more efficient than the one that I had here. I only used like, was it 5 or 6 small pieces of firewood to heat up the tent and make breakfast. Usually I have to stoke this small stove frequently, even in the morning. Alright, let's go and see if the tractor starts, because yesterday I had some issues with getting it started. So everything in neutral. Hand throttle, let's put it halfway, then turn the key, wait for that sign to stop. Easy! I think it was just because nobody drove this during the winter, and yesterday was the first time after winter I started this tractor, so I think there wasn't enough power in the battery, but now it works like a charm. I mean, driving a tractor is so slow, but at the same time it's very comfortable because I don't have to do that much physical exercise compared to driving with the snowmobile or pulling the logs with the snowmobile. The tractor does the work. Also, it's nice because it's warm inside the hut. This tractor is also very nice because it's so small. I can just get through tight places with the tractor. I mean, it started snowing really heavily. Look! In Finland we call this takatalvi. Once all the snow has melted, we still get some snow. It's like backlash winter. It is nice to get a lot of snow, but it's just bad because soon everything will be really slippery. These things don't have much grip on snow. Still need to go and pick one. Oh, let's hope this is not too deep for the tractor. Getting slippery. Ah, yes, easy.
Who dares to leave a big stump like that on the way?
There we go. I have now collected 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 logs here to the close proximity of my camp. So I have all the logs that I fell yesterday here. I think I should cut these huge stumps I left here during the winter just to make it easier to get around with the tractor. It's just crazy how much we get snow in such a short time. Look, there's freaking snow everywhere. Anyways, I have now all those 10 logs transported here. But the issue now is that I have to go further and further away to find proper trees. Because on this hill, where I have felled the majority of the trees are getting too narrow. I mean, there are these huge spruces, but like said before, I don't really want to use spruce. If I remember correctly, there is a stump under here. Oh man, there is just so much firewood. Let's do a few measurements on these logs I fell. 9.5, 15, but at 9 that's 16 and a half, 17 roughly there. So yeah, these are thick enough, thankfully. I just now need to go further with the tractor and try finding similar kind of logs. I have the chainsaw there, canister and tools here, extra jacket, helmet and a backpack here. I can barely transport stuff with this. It would be so nice to have some kind of outside toolbox. Let me know if there are some kind of toolboxes for tractors, because I have no clue. So I'll be leaving the camp behind and driving just a little bit further. Let's go see if there are good trees there. Wow. I mean, I'm getting more confident now as I'm on this new area that I will have enough trees to build the log cabin. I had a plan B and even plan C if I didn't get thick enough trees from here. But yeah, as you see, there are a lot of nice pine trees. Oh. Listen. There's somebody else felling trees that way. Huh. That's 8 down, 2 more to go. Ooh. It's currently 12:30 and I managed to fell 10 trees. That was a lot of work. And look, now all of that snow is melted in roughly an hour. That's crazy. For lunch I'm just going to heat up maksalaatikko, liver casserole. That's done. So I want to hear your opinion on one thing. I was thinking that I really would like to build a mini cabin on this property just to make like living here a bit more comfortable. Also, I think it would be great practice to build a small cabin here. My plan would be to use just like store-bought lumber, which would make the build process a lot faster, and build maybe cabin a little bit bigger than the tent, something like 3 times 4 meters. Just thinking about next winter, that if we have a lot of like -20, -30 degree weathers, it would be nice to have a warmer hut or a cabin instead of a tent. Also, after I finish the big cabin, my plan is to build a sauna here. So I was thinking that if I build a small cabin, I could use that as my like base camp when I'm building the main cabin. And once I have the main cabin finished, I could convert the mini cabin into a sauna or a tool shed or something like that. So I would really like to do that. I have no idea of how much that would cost. Is it like 2,000, 3,000 or 5,000 euros? I bet that it would be expensive because I buy store-bought lumber. Also, I need the roofing, insulation, etc. So it would cost some money, but if it's not crazy, I think I could do that. Also, of course, it would slow down the building process of the main log cabin a little bit, but I don't think that it would take too much time to build a small cabin, especially if everything is like store-bought. But yeah, let me know your opinion of that. If it doesn't cost too much, I can consider that, but would you be interested on seeing me build a mini cabin here before the log cabin? Of course, after I've fell and debarked all the trees. It is way too hot in there. Okay, let's get back to work. This will be a tight squeeze, but it fits true. Yes, this thing is a beast. The thing is, I can have maximum of 4 in one pile. Like you see there, this one and now this, but it's a bit deformed because 4 is still narrow enough that I can drive over the logs with the tractor. Guys, I just met my neighbor. He scared the shit out of me just walking in the forest. I'm used to being here all alone, and then he just wanders outside here. He owns the forest that is in that end of the property. So he just came to say hi, asked what I'm doing here, and well, I obviously probably checked that I'm not going on his property, because in Finland neighbors are really strict on that kind of stuff. But yeah, he was a really nice guy. Probably something like 80, 90 years old. But oh man, he scared me. So much slower now. I mean, I've already spent like 2.5 hours just driving back and forth, and I think I've now pulled like 7. It takes so much longer because the terrain is not that even, and I have to drive surprisingly far. Thankfully, this is not physically exhausting. So I will do this kind of stacks of 4 in a row on this forest road that goes here, because then I can still drive here. If I have them in a zigzag going all around in the forest, I can't really drive in here anymore. Yep. I have the last log there. Oh, I'm getting really bored. I have a radio here, but I couldn't get it working, so I've been just driving for hours in silence or in the noise of the tractor. Thankfully, I have enough going in my head that even when I don't have music on externally, I have it on internally. Turn around. And that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 and 20 logs. Oh man, that was a lot of work. It took me 3 hours to transport all the logs to this place that I cut down today. And it will get just slower as I need to go further away next time. But let's do a little measurement, because I feel that these ones I have here and here are too short. At 9.5, that's 17. This one down here is still 16, and just like there it's over 16. Oh, but that one is really narrow. That's only 15. So yeah, they are not too narrow after all. But now let's go for a dinner break, and I still have to fell trees, because like said, the frost is melting. Snow has already melted, but the frost is melting, and once the ground is melted, I can't really fell those trees anymore. So if I don't have enough time to pull all the logs to the campsite this time, I at least have to fell them so that they can start drying up already. Now, would you look at that? No, that's done. But I was thinking that I could answer a few of your comments on my previous episode. Hempi Eriksson 9724 said that with the smaller logs I could practice building an outhouse. I will build an outhouse, and that's on the top of my priority list. I just need to get a trailer to the tractor so that I can transport stuff on the property. Also, because the ground is still frozen, I can't do the foundation for the toilet or for the outhouse. I was thinking that I could build the foundation out of that kind of metal. Are they beams that screw to the ground? If the ground here is soft enough for that. If that's the case, it will be a super easy build. At Jani Kanervo 864 said that I should take an hour lunch break so my body could recharge during that time. Yeah, I'm working from morning until evening on this cabin build, and it's really exhausting. Currently, thankfully, I have the tractor, which means that I'm going to just sit for hours in the tractor pulling those logs. For example, today I sat for, was it like 2 hours in the morning and 3 hours during the day. At Oscar by Storm, a 6-wheeler ATV. I was thinking about getting an ATV myself to transport stuff and maybe be able to pull those logs, but now that I have the tractor, I'm definitely not going to need an ATV. At Kalle Navn 2783, you should rig up a crane with steel wire with winch and pulleys between the trees where you have your logs. Much easier for you to move them around. I was actually thinking about that at one point, and I did a bunch of research, but the thing is that it's not really that safe to have a metal wire go between trees and then use that to pull up the logs, because like firstly the trees are moving like this, they can shake pretty harshly in the wind, which could lead to the snapping of the wire. And also, if I have trees like this, I have a wire going between and I'm pulling it from the center, it will firstly force the trees towards each other, and then it will create a bunch of different kind of angle forces, and I just like read online that it's not that safe to do it. So, but I'm thinking about getting a lift, a hydraulic lift to the back of the tractor, so that I could use this kind of, I don't know what it's called, but it's like a huge arm that grabs on the logs, and I can use like hydraulics to move the logs, and that would just make things super easy. I'm definitely looking into one of those. At Greza112, given the fact that trees seem to be getting ready for spring, isn't the thing to do just fell what you need to stop them getting any more sap, and then you can stack them and debug later? And yeah, that is exactly what I'm doing right now. So let's get to it. Already at this point of the video, I think you guys know the drill. The sunset is just so stunning. Couldn't ask for a better day to fell these trees. No bugs, it's not too hot, and a perfect sunset. That's the last one. Whew. But we need to go now because I'm getting surprise visitors. Oi. Morjesta. No terve, Kerttu. Kerttu. My spouse and Kerttu came by and they bought me some candy. But the day is not over yet. I need to go fetch some water from the nearby spring so that I can get the sauna on and wash myself properly after a long day. So the spring is around 4, maybe 500 meters from the cabin location. So I'll go as close as I can with the tractor. This is not looking very good. The road I'm currently walking on is most likely the route where I have to build the actual road that comes to the cabin site. My plan is at some point build a road that I can drive with just a regular car, but I really hope I can get the road going somewhere else than here, because as you see, this is a really swampy area. Well, it's not a swamp exactly, but the ground is definitely wet. In Finnish this is like called kosteikko. And also here, if I have to take the road through there, I need to build a bridge. And I would need to build 2 bridges. There is another one here. Oh man, don't know how hard that will be. But building of the road is in far future, so don't need to worry about that too much this time. This right here is the spring. The water itself is really clean, but I just got some spruce needles in it. Now I am not exactly sure how will I deal my water situation. This is the closest water source to my camp, and I think this was like 400 or 500 meters away, and it's uphill to where my cabin is. I think it would be possible to make that spring bigger by digging and making some kind of a well there, and then I think I could pump it to the cabin location, but I'm not exactly sure if that would work, if I even would be able to pump the water all the way to the camp. The other option is just drilling a well to the cabin location, but that then is really expensive. The road thing and the water thing, those are future issues. I can get water from here by walking, so at least for now I'm good. I think around in an hour the sauna is ready. Now here I have the other additions to the stove I was speaking about. Let's check out these. This is a water tank that goes on the chimney and that heats up the water. Oh, no, it was open. Now I don't know about you guys, but usually when the handle is towards the pipe, that means it's open, and when it's crossed, that means that it's closed. Okay, so it does not come with instructions. So is it really that simple? I'm a guy who doesn't often read instructions, but when it has something to do with fire inside a tent, I would prefer to have instructions. But let's see if I can get this thing together. Oh, now I see. So I can have it like this high up, or I can take these off and fold them down. Okay, so if you didn't realize it yet, this here is a pellet burner. It attaches to the top of the stove and you can fill this huge box with pellets. This is the first time ever I'm trying a pellet burner, but how it basically works is that I could fill up this whole box with pellets and it would slowly burn through the whole night. I think they promised something like 7 to 9 hours with this box filled up. So apparently from here I'm supposed to ignite it, but I only have matches with me right now. Nope. And it just died off. Obviously this is not how you're supposed to do it. You're supposed to use that kind of a flame torch or something similar to ignite it, but I don't have it with me right now. Okay, I can't get it burning from here. Let me try if I could ignite it up there. Oh, I'm getting so much smoke in. Okay, so yeah, I can't get that thing started because I don't have a blowtorch with me. You really need a blowtorch to be able to light it up from here. Let's check on what my spouse brought me. A piece of pie. Really good pie. Today I worked for 12 hours. And if you count like fetching water for the sauna and fidgeting with that new stove, then that's 14 hours. I'm so ready to go to bed. Whoa. I mean, it's winter outside, I guess. Good morning. I do think that the water heater is really handy, but I just don't like that it makes such a loud noise. I'm just sitting here eating breakfast. I would like to hear the fire crackling and probably the wind blowing, but now that's really loud. The cabin won't build itself, so let's get to work. Let's leave her to warm up and go fill the chainsaw. Whew, let's turn on the heating. Let's test if these work. Okay. And I freaking love this tractor already. I'm running a bit low on gas. Well, let's hope we don't run out of it.
new light has appeared.
I need to go clear that road.
Oh, that's deep. How deep is that? Oh man, that's deep. Yo, I hope we don't get stuck here. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, that was close. Whew. Oh man, that was deep. I'm not going through here anymore. It's not looking too good. I have a few trees in the forest, but I'm soon out of fuel. I'm thinking, should I risk it? Or should I just call it a day here? At least those that are on the worst spots, I think I need to go fetch those still. Oh no, there's a bush.
So the reason why I'm pulling all these logs to the camp is that if I leave them here like this, you can see it's totally in air from the middle. So that would bend all the time. I just think I have to pull these. Or maybe I don't have to pull them all the way to the camp. I could just move them so that they are flat, because I'm really concerned about the fuel level. So I have 1, 2, that's 3. And then if I remember correctly, I had 1 here. So I have 4 logs still here. I need to remember that number so I don't forget them here. I mean, now I understand why there are 2 doors in a tractor. If you park in a place like this. That's 1. Now that's number 2. I think that log number 3 is all good. And that's number 4. I think that's good. I think I'll still fell a few trees because I now have 30 long logs. But I think I have, was it like 26 short logs already debarked. Of course I would like to have exactly same amount. 30 short logs, 30 long logs and a bit of extra. So I will fell a few trees still here. I think maybe 3, because it's good to have excess instead of like in the building phase realizing that I don't have enough dry logs. Now this is log number 5. That's log number 6. Yeah, I think that's good. And that's log number 7, which also is laying against the ground real nicely. So I'll just leave it there. So now as I pulled this one here, I have a total of 6 logs still in the forest, but 27 logs near my camp. I mean, that can't be right. Let's calculate it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. So 27 logs in total I was able to cut down and transport here. Oh man, having a tractor was a lifesaver on this project, because if I didn't have the tractor now, I would have needed to wait until like next winter to continue felling trees. But now I think I have all trees cut down that I will need in the log cabin build. The complete build. I still have one really important task to do that I nearly forgot. My friend gave me this bird nesting box. I need to set this thing up here. That's perfect. I mean, honestly, I have no idea where you're supposed to put a bird nesting box. That was the first I've ever set up. It would be so amazing to see a bird move in there. It is far from my camp, but still close enough that I can actually see the box from my deck. Also, I need to tie the foundation to that tree because the whole foundation is soon about to tip over from there. Those two are leaning really heavily that way. It was a pleasure to have you with me on this trip. We just got so much done. 33 logs in total felled and 27 at the camp. Next time I really just have to start debarking these logs that I have here. Summer is just around the corner, so I want to have them debarked as soon as possible so that they can dry as much as possible during the summer. Also, let's see if I can get a trailer to the tractor so I could transport outhouse building material here. And let me know in the comments what do you think about the mini cabin. If it would be a great idea to build one before the main cabin, or should I just live in the tent? Now like the video if you enjoyed it, and remember to subscribe so you won't miss my upcoming videos. But otherwise, thank you for watching and see you on our next adventure.